All right, guys, we're back live and we're into the third match, fourth match of the day. Doubles, Corey Deuel and Oscar Dominguez versus Fedor Gorst and Konstantin Stepanov. And here in the booth, we're joined by another pro player, this time from the opposing side, I mean Team Russia. It's Andrei Sarashtan, who is not involved today at all.
Hey there.
Once again, this is Team USA winning the leg.
Yeah, it's been.
It's been the strongest part so far.
If you had a bet on that, you would be doing all right. It's interesting. One year in Cardiff at the World Nine Ball Championships, forget which company set up the bookmaking company, and that was one of the things you could bet on was the lag.
Really?
Yeah, you could bet on all kinds of things, but that was one of the things you could bet on. It was pretty amazing. Now, Oscar, who hasn't played yet today, neither has Corey.
At this angle, the rack looks pretty good. Everything's frozen,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, it looks great. And well, the guys have been pretty successful overall. Had a couple dry breaks and a couple of breaks that didn't look so great, but overall been pretty good.
Too much spin
Yeah,
on
a
the
lot
cue
of
ball.
English. A lot of English there.
Nothing's down.
Two ball's not going to get it. Now it'll be interesting to see if the 4 passes the 5. And that was just like you said, Mike, a little bit too much spin. So that's immediately what the Russians are looking at, Andreas. You see anything other if the 4 doesn't pass the 5, the 3's hung up in the upper left-hand corner.
Yeah, I think they will try to play combination shot.
Yeah, maybe so. Even that isn't so easy. Now, if you drop down on the bottom rail, that's why you got behind the 2 here. So you drop down on the bottom rail for the 3. I think the 4 may slide by.
Wouldn't you fancy, guys, trying your luck a little bit and just go maybe three rails around the shape on the 4, play it in the other corner, just to avoid the combo?
Maybe, but there's not much room for position there.
Yeah,
And
true.
the club slides really hard.
So it's hard to predict. I'll tell you one thing he could do is if he got on the bottom rail, he could draw up the side rail, kind of playing for a cut on the 4, which is not bad. Okay, they're going to play, I believe, some type of shot like you suggested, Michael. But speed is crucial.
Maybe just hoping to bump the 5.
This might be the guy you want shooting this shot after coming off that win. Okay, that's going to go long into him, and that's actually a nice play. Very smart, actually, staying away from getting snookered.
The cue ball is going to be traveling away from the 5.
Yeah, but still, you can see there's a big space up table between the 7 and 8 that he can gain position on the 5. So he doesn't have to come back down and get close to the 5. Just, he could hit this with a high right English, catching the side rail, end rail, and checking the cue ball up, or he could draw to the end rail and back up. So
And just aiming to get back to the center of the table.
right.
Playing with right hand side, just to hold the cue ball and does this perfectly.
Yeah.
Maybe too close.
Gonna be.
Yes,
Wow.
that's unfortunate actually.
Yeah. I'm surprised he tried to travel all the way back down the table instead of just. You could really just get a little past the head string and have a nice cut shot.
My guess, Jeremy, might be
He can throw this ball in.
He's got like a sort of a starting tension in his arm.
Maybe.
Yeah, and probably just that was the reason for shooting the ball too strong.
And I'll tell you what, on a slick cloth, this ball does not have to throw like he thinks it's gonna. Oh, he played the safety, okay. You better hope that slows down. That's gonna give up a
Oh,
shot.
he left it on actually.
Yeah, he barely caught the 5 at all. And now Corey will come to the table. The long shot on the 5, but one he should make. He'll just come right in between the 7-8 with the cue ball. Nice shot. Now he wants a little angle on the 6 so he can make it easy for the 7 in the side.
So far, looks like no angle at all.
Well, he's got a little bit, and you can cheat these pockets a little bit at this angle, meaning you can use the side rail just ever so slightly.
But can you cheat it from such
Distance?
distance? Yeah.
Well, technically you can, Michael.
Well, technically you can do any kind of shot on a pool table.
Well, we certainly can from over here. I know that. But I think even taking a little bit of a cut, if he just gets it out 3 or 4 inches to the right, I think that's okay.
Well, the overall score, there's a question we've got from Dennis the Hatchet. Dennis Hatches 4-4. We've also got some assistance from the chat. Thank you, guys. Well, once again, the whole pocket were used by Team USA on the last 2 shots on the 6 and the 7, both from Corey and Oscar. But so far, so good.
Yeah, and that's the pocket size usually on the TV tables, the slick cloth, the lights and everything isn't the problem. It's more of the command of the cue ball and a little bit of the swerve of the cue ball.
Well, for this reason, Jeremy, sometimes we're able to see some ridiculous shots coming in. Going in.
Andreas, you lined up for a doubles tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll play with Sergey Lusker against Corey and Mitch.
Yeah,
you already know your opponents. You have studied the schedule and just getting ready for this one.
Yeah, that'll be in the second match tomorrow, which is a guarantee now that we're knotted at 4 games apiece here in day 2. 4 matches apiece, excuse me.
I'm also looking forward to play against Shane.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a great match.
That's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
Not sure for whom, yeah.
Are you in the singles against him tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Have you ever got to play him before?
No.
Oh, wow.
That is going to be a cool experience.
Absolutely. Okay, that was more of a cut break, which is interesting. Seems the power break's been pretty successful today overall.
Yeah, you know, just before this match, Konstantin mentioned that you don't even have to just go and check the reg, study all the gaps. Just fire the cue ball, just use your power and rely on it.
Yeah. Well, as we've seen with the pocket size shooting the balls in, the pocket size is bigger also on the break. So. Difficult rollout here.
What would Efren do?
One rail kick. Nice position for free.
Maybe. That's amazing. He was just in the States for a couple months, and at the age of 63, he's still playing unbelievable. He played many exhibitions with a lot of great players through the States, through the Midwest, and through Texas and a lot of places, and not many won, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's great. So like 15 seconds left.
Yeah, and there's he could roll out and try to lay the 7 on top of the 9 maybe, but he's going to leave him a lot of cue ball here, which is interesting, really, with all the blockers up there. I'm surprised with the 3-6-8 there. He really left him the bottom side of the cue ball. I would have had to roll out on the rail somewhere, probably.
Yeah, why not leaving the cue ball on the rail, actually?
Yeah, you don't want the 2 to get separated from the 3-6-8. You don't mind getting snookered as long as the 2 is very available for the kick shot. So he won't get this back, that's for sure. Now he's going to have to cut this with a little spin and bank it up table and kill the cue ball, like so. Wow.
It looks like a very calculated shot from Corey Deuel.
Yeah, if he had caught in the point, I could have had some problems, but.
Yeah, we've seen Christina and Koch being unlucky with the same ball traveling and go into the side. But here, Corey,
I think
Must-
Oscar can shoot the 3 and go around the 8 for just position on the 4 for a thin cut on the 4. Like so. Man, that's a nice play. That's a little more what we talked about yesterday, guaranteeing that shot, making the run continue. You know?
yeah, you guys over there around the world just keep making notes of what Jeremy Jones said, like the kind of rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Just have a shot guaranteed. That's it.
Right.
That's
Well, when the
that's the primary
situation's
thing to-
tough.
yeah,
Yeah,
to-
when the
to take care
situation's
of, yeah.
tough. Yeah. Rely on your talent a little bit. Simplify the shot in front of you and know that your talent is going to take over on the next shot and make something out of nothing. And that's way shy of ideal. Okay, so he's going to have to cut this to the right. Nice shot. Oh, he caught it just a hair thick. Now, this is one that I'm not sure I would shoot at exactly. I think he's gonna try and play a two-way safety. He's gonna try and get to the back of the 8. This is really tough. This is the type of shot, if you're trying to send the cue ball to the back of the 8, that you normally would overcut. Just because you're adding a little speed, which makes the ball cut a little bit better usually.
But the cue ball line looks really natural.
Yeah, it does. He actually hit it thick, but he's running the cue ball somewhat where he wanted.
But if he cut at the 7, the cue ball will go close to the pocket,
Yeah.
but from the different side.
Right.
He was playing actually the two-way shot Jeremy mentioned.
It's supposed to be overcut on this two-way shot.
Right. To where the 7 ends up on the back rail. But the
Yeah.
main thing for him was the cue ball more than anything. So a long, tough shot for Fedor.
It's kind of similar to that one.
Great shot, though.
And here goes Konstantin Stepanov with a very nice feel of the table, taken from the previous match.
Yeah, and that's one thing you'll find on the TV tables, the slick cloth, that you may play a little bit more draw for position than you normally would on an outer table, because the draw is so easy. I mean, it's so easy to draw the ball.
But probably the best way, once again, is just to rely on stun shots more and just on your speed control.
Yeah, definitely speed control. You have to trust the rollout of the cue ball. Cue ball rolls out a little further. All right, Corey going to the center of the table. That's or somewhat in the center.
Like breaking a diamond away from the rail.
I didn't hear anything down.
Neither did Corey.
Yeah. The 8 jarred the pocket, but it's nice to see a lot of variation after the break, though, right? Instead of like a template to where you get so consistent shot on the one.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll tell you a shot where guys, I'll tell you Efren might do right here. Efren probably carry him the 3 ball on the side, right?
Wow.
I know it looks crazy, but I'm telling you, that's probably what he would do rather than elevating the cue. He would just flatten out and carry him the 3 in the side and let the 1 come down towards the 5.
Yeah, given the distance between the two balls,
exactly,
it's pretty easy to calculate.
Yeah, I
this.
like that type of shot as well.
Yeah, nice way of thinking, just out of the box.
Right. Because you feel like if you draw the cue ball back, there's an element of safety there, but it doesn't have to be, just like here.
Well, a little bit of a trick shot here.
Well, he's got an easy safety, I believe. I think he can come across the 1 and land behind the 2 very easily. I think. Maybe not. You got to roll at this and go into the 8 with the cue ball. You have position, you have safety, you have everything. Okay, he's going to check him up behind the 2.
That's
wow.
enormous effort.
And I tell you what, this may be a 3-foul situation if he doesn't hit this. You can do a lot of damage with the 4-7, placing the 1 and the cue ball in a bad spot for the Russians. This is a big shot here.
Yeah, and the 3-foul situation is usually a big mental blow for the player who loses this rack.
Yeah, and a lot of these 2-rail kicks, the guys will come short, like into the 4-7, because they don't anticipate. They anticipate the ball grabbing. Okay, he hit the 1. Nice hit. Almost making the 7.
Yeah, that was a fine shot.
Now, like most around Russia, Andreas, is this your home pool room as well now?
Yeah, we're all practicing in this pool room.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, that's the
he's
only
gonna
pool
need it.
room with diamond tables.
I was kind of expecting your answer. Yeah.
But it's only 2 pool rooms with such amount of pool tables in Moscow.
Well, usually to practice you need only 1.
Now, Oscar is pretty incredible with this jump cue. This one's quite close, and really isn't going to offer much position on the 3.
It looks like Chinese on 6.
Oh, you know, I prefer using a dart stroke on these types of jump shots.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, what a shot. Now he can cut this in the side. Wow. He can avoid the 9 coming down the table, so this is all about nerves and touch. Oh, nice shot. So,
Now looks like they are past all the problems in this
well,
rack.
I don't know. The 5 with the 9 being there, he's got a funny angle on the 4. So the 5 getting 5 to the 6 with the 9 being there is not easy. Can he go around the 9 easily, Andreas?
Maybe just opt for a draw shot.
Yeah, I think he's colliding with the 9 now. Maybe not.
Yeah, easy free rail shot here. Just a bit of left spin.
And go by the 9.
Ooh.
Yeah, he caught it. Maybe he's going to get lucky on short side.
Not so much.
I think he did. I think he got a shot. Yeah,
Yeah,
with
really.
the 7 available, this is okay.
Just a little sign of apology for Team Russia from Corey.
Ball's cut nice, so this is actually a little thicker hit than normal. I know Russia doesn't have any Mosconi Cup hopefuls this year, but do you think the other Mosconi Cup hopefuls for Europe are watching this Dream Challenge much? I believe they probably are.
Yeah, I believe they do. Why asking?
I'm just curious.
Well, we know for sure that many American top players do watch this. Like Dennis Hedge.
Justin
First
Bergman.
of all, Justin Bergman, maybe Mike Duchesne like yesterday, and probably even Scott Frost, whose T-shirt I'm wearing today.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, and that's on Football Sunday they were watching yesterday as well, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure our European viewers might get what Football Sunday means.
Yeah, well, the NFL.
Yeah.
There's been a few games in London each year.
Yeah, they're trying to expand, like.
Yeah. It's been quite popular, actually. There in Mexico City, both.
Come on. The Europeans have got rugby.
I know.
That's it. The
nothing.
wing ball almost went in.
Nothing so far.
Yeah, the 5 almost went in, but just it didn't want it.
Now the racks are starting to get a little different looking from, and they broke nice. It seemed like the balls broke nice. They scrambled all over the table.
So guys, if you want to know the overall score, it should be just below the current score, the little figures.
I think he's got to go for this bank.
Right now it is 4-4, 4 apiece.
Nice shot. They're going to try and play the cue ball on the 9 here, either making the 9 or the 6.
Yeah, I think the 9 goes.
Well, it depends. I think he'll make something for sure. I don't think it has to be the 9, but...
But it looks like the 9 will just hit the 6 and they both will stuck in the pocket.
I think well, that's with the lighter speed, and that's with the lighter speed, but I think he's going to have plenty on this. Be horrible to make the 9 and then the cue ball behind it. Yeah. Oh, nice call, Andreas. Not really leading much. I think that was harder to do than not to do, not to make one.
Like a really tough safety from this position. Maybe behind the 8, 3 rails, and the 2 will be on the short rail.
Yeah, it's tough, like you said, very, very tough.
But the 2 will go to the corner, so
Yeah.
it's really hard to control it.
Yeah, that's why you see him. He's maybe trying to play the bank. And he's elevated, so difficult hit here. I think it might spread to the low rail. This is where you don't worry about the cue ball getting so far down the table. Okay, he did real well there. Great shot.
That was the only option to do here.
Yeah, with speed, right? Okay. Americans changing equipment. Okay, I'm not really sure what the jump shot does for him, but he may have no other choice. I don't think he can kick in between the 8 and 9.
No, he's not jumping.
Yeah,
wow.
he's jumping.
Didn't expect him to jump with a full cue.
Yeah, well, it's not quite a full cue. Now the 9's been removed from near the pocket on that shot by Fedor, so with the 5-7's going to have to be dealt with later in the rack.
Yeah, they just need a perfect position on 4 to break up this cluster.
5-7, yeah. I like him cutting at this, that's for sure. Nice shot.
Yeah, sweet.
And this is where Andreas was talking about this. One thing, you try to get position, but otherwise you know you can play a pretty jam-up safety on the 5 as well. The 7 being there.
It's time to break up that little cluster.
Yeah, but if you overdraw, The key here is don't underdraw too much. You don't want to be super thin on the 4.
Well, usually the more cut, the more ball you have to work with, the better.
Yeah, thicker is always more
accurate.
accurate.
Yes. That is what I was going to say.
And I think he can get at the edge of the 5. I'm not so sure he can get at the side he really would like to get at, which would be the top side of the 5. No, he can. Nice shot. Most likely you'll end up playing short side on the 7. Gonna draw over to the side rail and then draw over to the short side on the 7.
Yeah, just play it under the 7, just like Federer pointed at.
A little spin. Doesn't
Nicely
want to get straight.
Nicely done. Well, even getting straight, I think just 2 rails across on the 8 would have brought the cue ball nicely on the 9. These 2 rails across shots actually are the ones the pros recently have been practicing on. Here in Russia, I think Mr. Johan Rusink was the one who just insisted on doing this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because you face such types of shots pretty often.
Right. And the center of the table is used so much in 9-ball rotation pool, the center of the table. So these back and forth shots are pretty crucial.
I remember reading one of the books by George Fels, like I think it was a mastering pool. Some rules of thumb for playing 9-ball. First, just trying to keep to the center, and next, first was keep an angle on every shot, and then just stay away from the rail, maybe 1 diamond distance.
Right.
And your game will be much easier then.
Absolutely. If your ball's not near the rail, if you stay off the rail with the cue ball, you can manage from a lot of positions.
Speaking of books, by the way, I know that we have a special running for this event. Phil Capel, back in the USA, he'll get a special on his bestseller, like Play Your Best Pool right now. So guys, go ahead and check this one.
Okay, I'm not sure the bank's available here. I think the 3 is in the way. It's close. If not, the cue ball should be behind the 6 and 9 after this shot, I would think. Looks like he can edge the 6 and float down right in between, edge the 1 and float down right below the 6. Not easy. Maybe he is playing the bank. That's a nice simple shot.
Just watching Corey doing this shot, I have to ask you, Jeremy, which type of bridge do you prefer, open and closed one?
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, when I played my best pool, it was definitely a closed bridge. There's a lot more trust in the closed bridge, and then as far as technique, when technique comes along.
Andrew, what about you?
I don't really mind to choose the bridge.
But what's your preference? What do you think?
Depends on the shot.
Right.
If I need to play a draw shot, I'll play for sure with the closed bridge.
Okay, a nice solid hit, 2 rails at that 1. And are they going to get rewarded?
No, the 1 almost caught the 9 on the way, just to kick it into the side.
Yeah, and he's only left him a piece of the 1, if any.
Try to make the 4. Not really.
Yes, guys, you're on the chat asking about the book. It is Phil Capel's book, Play Your Best Pool, and actually this is the one we had translated in Russian recently.
Yeah, that's going to have to go, or else they'll be planted behind the 7-9 here shortly. This is laying really nice, very natural, just to coast behind the 7-9. Laying the one ball on the side rail, about where the head string's at, probably.
And just making 2 rails, contact with the cue ball. That's
Yeah,
it.
Good, yeah. And he really cut off the bottom rail as well. Whew. So Corey's going to have to come over here and kick to the side rail, coming 3 rails, I think, behind. Oh, can he not reach it? Queuing in between the 7-9?
He
Don't
can,
think so.
Can reach it.
Yeah, side rail, end rail, other side rail, and send the one up table, maybe? Oh, he's got to use the bridge, and he needs speed on this, so this is not easy. Okay, he's aiming quite long, so he's going to have to hit downward on this ball.
And shooting this way, he will have to use kind of a jab stroke.
Right. Well, yeah, because...
Not enough room for follow through.
Yeah, to foul the ball, right? So he's going to have a little draw on this to try and cheat the angle.
Missed that one. Ball in hand for Team Russia.
They've got some work, though. The first 3 are pretty easy, the 1, 3, and 4, but...
Well, actually, 6 to 7 must be crucial here. The 8 is pretty much in the open.
Oh, he got the wrong angle on this 3, and that's a big mistake, if you ask me. That's gotten him where things can be difficult now, getting from the 4 to the 5.
Well, right now he's gonna be like maybe 2 feet longer
Yeah, and
on the
yeah,
4.
and he's going to have to move the cue ball to get from the 4 to the 5 as well. So I think Stepanov's going to try and create a little more for him. No, he held the angle. So really a big mistake, I think, getting the wrong angle on the 3. And that's the slickness of the claw, drawing so easily. So
Yeah, now it will be really hard to play 3 rail shot because the cloth will slide and he will try to play it with the follow.
right. Yeah, and the rails aren't near as bouncy as a worn in table. Hit it great though.
Oh, that's a beauty.
Still the type of shots you want to stay away from, especially with having ball in hand on the 1.
Like he gonna play really hard.
Very nice punch stroke by Konstantin.
Yeah, now we'll have to find a deft touch by Fedor coming up the table, whether he comes 2 rails. I think he'll just float it in 1 rail softly. Ooh, I don't know. A little touchy. Andreas, have you got to play many Euro tours through the years?
Yeah, I think I played more than 10.
No.
Not a big amount actually.
No. Okay. Now
Well,
mainly just recently in this year, or
Yeah, I played this year three times.
okay.
Yeah, more than 10 definitely is not enough, provided that there are 7 during the season. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it still is pretty costly, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay a lot to go there.
If you don't have a steady sponsorship, I mean, just
Yeah, for sure.
you cannot afford it very often. the Russian pair is one rack up. Jeremy, I'm not sure. Well, we're supposed to discuss that, so feel free to tell us. But I wonder if there is any chance that Corey Deuel might be in the selection for the Mosconi Cup this year.
Well, actually, yes.
Well, just because first we knew that Shane Van Boning was not supposed to be on the team, but recently, the situation changed. So, what if the same can be done with Corey?
Well, there's not any change. Johan and I told all the guys in Vegas that even from the final 8, that you, even if you don't make the final 8, you still have a chance to make the team. So we want all the guys still trying to perform, play the big events. I mean, if the guys have a big run at a bunch of big events coming up, like the International, and we can see how the play is, we don't want to, look at this 7 ball. Look at this 7 ball.
Not yet.
Kind of tough questions, though. Now, do you bank at this 1-9? Elevated? I mean, where do you roll out to? This is an easy rollout.
Well, that's an awkward bridging, first of all.
I know, but still, you have a little bit of safety element involved with all those balls there. I mean, this isn't a horrible... I mean, this looks like an amateur decision right here to bank at the 1-9, but I don't think it is that bad.
Well, we've seen one kind of an amateur decision by Shane Van Boning earlier.
Oh, he didn't throw it, and now he's going to give up the 1-9.
It's lucky with the position of the 1.
Yeah. I don't think there's any decision making here.
Well, an inch higher for the 1 ball, and the shot is not there because of the scratch.
Yeah, and I wouldn't hit this hard. I was just trying to ease it in. I think the pocket is huge, easing it in, and you could get on top of the 5 with the cue ball. So.
Oh, that was a big mistake by Corey Deuel, obviously.
Well, mishit, I think, more than a mistake, other than he could have rolled out and made the 9 maybe, and made things more difficult.
Oh, I still think that bridging over that 5 ball might have been an issue.
Oh, it was definitely an issue. Yeah, if the 5 wasn't there, he wouldn't have hit it that poorly, that's for sure. Americans need to compose themselves. They still have 2 out of 3 breaks here to come back in this match. I'd like to see Corey break from the side rail, though. He was very successful yesterday breaking from the side rail in his singles match.
So here you have it.
Yeah. Even if he just tries to play the 1 on the side, that's okay, too. Nothing, though. Nothing again. And an opening for Europe.
Do you play the 1 to the side, Jeremy?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he can beat the 9 with a little top left English and come straight down the table for the 2. The 3-7's playable, and the 3 does go in the upper right as well. So. One thing about the 3-7, I'm not so sure where it's going to let the 3 lay. So we'll see.
So are they discussing a combo shot?
Yeah, and he's going to want to be behind it a little bit. That way he can go past the 3 and shoot the 3 in the upper right. Okay, if he didn't get to where he can go past it, though, this is a little tricky because the 3's not going to, it's going to lay on the rail, I believe. Can he hit it hard enough to bounce the 3 out, Andres?
Well, the distance between the 7 and the rail is enough. It will be really hard to do it, but if he will cut the 7 to the cheek, maybe he will get what he needs.
Let the 3 come out. It might double kiss the cue ball, though, maybe.
There is only hope for them.
Well, they've hoped pretty well so far. You'd like to roll this in, though, and just go past the 3 with the cue ball, just kind of towards the 6 is what is ideal, like that.
Yeah, great touch. So this is 4-piece and Russia in the lead in this very match, 4-2. Looking forward to go ahead once again overall.
And we have one more singles match after this to end day 2.
Yeah, Billy Thorpe is going to be back to the table.
And he's hopefully hadn't had time to cool off. That's for sure. He played a stellar match in our opening doubles today.
Well, I hope he is warming up already, just to stay in stroke.
Ooh, well, that was hit quite a bit thick there. You'll want to come all the way out here to get almost straight on the 8 or a little bit of angle on the other side. That should be okay. It's not ideal, that's for sure.
Oh, just a natural follow, maybe.
Yeah, but the ball really spreads a lot, Michael, so even with a little English, it doesn't really grab the right English so much. So he may flirt with the side pocket a little bit here. We'll see.
He's trying to play with little right English.
Yeah, but see,
Yeah, that's...
nice shot, making it check.
Well, it takes many hours of practice just to be able to bring the cue ball just in the middle between the side and the corner pockets and not scratching into either of them.
Team Russia now with 2 wins back-to-back to take a lead 5-4.
Well, I think well,